Okay, welcome to Table Moments Live. I thought I hit the live button, but apparently I didn't. So I was just talking to nobody basically. But I should be live now. Let's see. Yeah, cool. This is what's up. Let me see. We are there. Let's check Twitch because we're there now. If you guys prefer Twitch. Yep, cool. This is awesome. And so you guys on YouTube and Twitch get early access. I usually start the stream there first. This is something I've been doing for the last few months. For those of you who don't know, this is Table Moments, a podcast about anything and everything, sort of like the conversations you have with your friends, where the topic can go anywhere. You guys can talk about anything, and there you just have really interesting debates, discussions, ideas exchanged, and you guys just enjoy each other's company and laugh your asses off. And that's sort of what we do here, even on live on Twitch and YouTube. And eventually I'm going to get the TikTok people. That's where most of the engagement comes from, obviously, because it's structured that way. But I hope we can grow here too, and then we can actually elevate what started off as a podcast. So my name is Lyman. I'm the host and captain of the Table Moments podcast. We do have an audio version of this podcast that is completely separate from the videos that we post on social media or on YouTube or anything like that, which is basically sort of like these lives, except more open-ended. And we usually invite a guest. It's usually me and my brother. We talk about anything and everything. This week's episode, we ended up talking about like this sort of speed dating thing my brother's going to be going to. And we talk about strategy and how you would do that. And then also like what he's looking for in a mate, whatever. He's 27 at the moment. And he's at that stage of life where he's actually looking for a companionship. And so we have that whole guy conversation. And then we also invite someone to join us, and she gives her takes on a lot of this stuff. And it was a pretty interesting discussion, but usually we invite a guest, and then we started for the video portion doing street interviews where we ask people questions like this upcoming video is going to be like, would you rather have money or fame? And so people took either side of the issue and we asked them why they chose whatever, try to make it entertaining and fun and jovial and stuff like that. But I think it's about time that podcasts take another stage, are taken to another level where it's not just talking, but the ideas that you discuss, you actually make real in the world. And so like some of the stuff we've talked about on the podcast, like all these interesting possible business ideas or just crazy ideas that would be funny to see in the world and actually making those happen. And I don't want to reveal too much, but I got so many ideas out of this podcast that it's just a matter of execution. Like a lot of these ideas are big projects, big undertakings. But if we can pull them off, I think they would be highly watchable. But these lives could be a way of testing those ideas, sharing them with you guys and seeing if it's something that you guys would actually want to see as a video idea. So like random idea I came up with was like monetizing blackness using social media. And so like one of the ideas I've shared is that Black people have a level of freedom of speech that white people don't have. And so what if you could monetize that? What if you can loan out your blackness in a way? And on social media, you can do that with your profile. You can say things that perhaps your white counterpart can't say. And then, so like, let's say if this was built on the Twitter platform, then you could say, you could possibly charge someone who is white, who wants to say something, but they can't say it because they're white and they would get canceled. But if it's said by a Black person, it would be okay. And so then that white person would pay that Black person maybe a few bucks or whatever to tweet that on their behalf. And then that white person could retweet it. And so it's like saying what you wanted to say or sharing the message you wanted to share without the liability of cancellation as a white person in America and all that. So, and then the thing is, like, I have some experience with software. And so I've actually gotten a chance to play around with Twitter's backend API stuff. And so I actually could build this. And I think it would be hilarious. I think it would be funny as hell. Just that I would have successfully monetized blackness. And then I was thinking a funny name could be like Reparate or Reparations or something. But also it would be hilarious to also get blackface.com or something like that as like a redirect URL, just because to me it's an art piece. It's an art piece. It's like you successfully created a business to monetize Blackness, and it's an art piece. So I think that'd be pretty interesting. So crazy ideas like that would be pretty cool to actually go do and build, and then have people try it out on the street. Yo, I'm thinking like these ideas could be crazy. And then obviously pushing the edge as I normally do on these videos, while still getting people to think in deeper and interesting ways. And then also connecting with you guys. If you guys have any ideas or anything that you guys think would be cool to see, or even just helping you guys. So one of the things that I did not anticipate when we started this podcast was using it as a platform to help others grow. Like, I already, through the process of trying to grow this audience, I've realized how big of a pain in the ass distribution is. Getting people to know that your thing exists, and then getting people to follow and engage and be bought in. And so what if this platform could be, or at least the audience building for Table Moments could be, something other people could eat off of? And so the moment I realized, when we brought a rapper on to talk about his process and then talk about his upcoming album and stuff, it made me realize, like, this could be beyond us. This could be for you guys too. Come on the show, talk about what you got going on, have a fun conversation with, and just discuss whatever you like. Also the things that you're working on, and then give you that sort of like kickstart, that activation energy required to actually get that initial traction that's so hard to get. So that'd be really cool to build. That'd be really cool if Table Moments becomes that thing. That'd be really cool. And so that's what I'm trying to do. But that's a few minutes for you guys exclusively. Now I'm going to be inviting the people on TikTok, and we will continue the whole live thing there as they join, because that's how it goes. Okay, we're gonna do TikTok. TikTok's a little weird. Sometimes you get some weirdos. It's fine. I really like Twitch because you guys are really good trolls. I really appreciate that, because a lot of people won't accept trolls. A lot of people just really do not fuck with trolls at all. But I'm cool with them. Let's see. Do I want to filter on this one? Nope. Let's not go filter. Let's go. Maybe if I did this at an angle. Ooh, maybe if I added it to this light here. This is better. Ooh, that actually works really well. Let's add it to the cold shoe here. Cool. And if we increase the brightness, nope, that's changing the color. Increase the brightness. Nope. How about that? Better? I think it's better. Let's go live. 3, 2, 1. If you're curious what this is the microphone, for those of you guys who don't know. It's weird seeing my face in 3 different places. I have this phone here. I have my computer screen that's showing me the feed from the camera that's being live through StreamYard. But it's cool. It's cool. We're figuring it out. I'm traveling right now, so it's I just gotta show up every week. That's what I do. Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Table Moments Live. I'm your host and captain, Ayman. This is the podcast where we talk about anything and everything, but no politics. Here on the live, I relaxed that rule a little bit. I know Supreme Court decisions have come down, so I know people have strong opinions about that. They were the right decisions. Sorry, but they were. And you guys can complain all you want, but that's the government. That's the system. It's supposed to work that way, where there's debate back and forth. Hey, JJ, how's it going? How is it going? Lou, the official Alan, Paul Ford, Haley, how's it going? How's everyone? We talk about anything and everything. I have a few topics prepared based on videos that I posted this week. What? Thank you, Healer, but I'm not sure why you just started following. Is it the beard? I got a fresh cut like yesterday, day before, something like that. First time I've ever been to the barber for a beard trim. First time. And only because I'm traveling, because normally I do it myself. And I think they gave me a certain look that I'm not so used to. My girl does appreciate that I don't have whiskers, like hanging over my lips. Like, I really don't care about hair. I don't care about hair. And so I guess I can glam it up every now and then, right? Is that glow up? Glow up? That's what women call it. It is what it is. Tell me if I'm overexposed on YouTube, though. you guys. I think it looks better when it's like this. It's your birthday. Yeah, OJ Simpson. What's up? It's your birthday? I don't know. It's weird that you'd be celebrating that. Do you celebrate other days in your life too? Yeah. Let's see. I think, yeah, it's a little overexposed, but it's fine. I'll leave it because whatever. You seem super duper dope. Can I rate your vibe, or do you have a? That's the new. All right, so weak sauce, man. I've heard that one before. I think you came before, pun intended. But it's okay. So some topics I have prepared. Here's the thing: I don't like setting the topics because I like the conversation to flow, sort of how our podcast goes, where we talk about anything. It was a close one, Guidelines. It was a really close one. You almost got me, but yeah. So strategy for the trolls: if you want to get someone to say things on live and embarrass them, you got to start off with a compliment, like Guidelines did. You seem super duper dope. Okay. And he's like, oh, so this is friendly, right? And then can I rate your vibe? It's like, oh, okay. He just wants to give some input, some positive criticism. Um, or do you have a vibe rater already? And so if you say it quickly, it's a good strategy. I respect the game, but that I'll rate that a 5. I'll rate that a 5. But it's a good one. You're welcome here. You're always welcome here, trolls. Great pun. Yeah, it's pretty good, but I heard it last week too, so that's the thing. I haven't gotten caught with that one. I think I've gotten caught with other ones though. And I guess as I do more and more of these live streams, I'll figure them out. And it's going to be a rare event. 5 out of no, it's never out of 5, bro. It's 5 out of 10. You're mid. It's okay to be mid, but it's okay. It's okay. My girl cheated on me with my dad. What do I do? Serious. It doesn't sound serious, but if your girl cheated on you with your dad, ugh, dude. I don't know. That's a funny scenario because like if anything happens between like like conceived in that process, then I guess you have a brother, a half brother. Yeah, that's a little weird, bro. The step stuff is weird. Bruh, no, dude. It's an honest rating, man. What do you want? I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That's the one rule I have on these things. I'm not gonna lie to you. Other people on here on TikTok, they'll lie to you all the time, but I just won't. I'll give you honest. But I think you could do better though. You can get me for sure. Because a lot of things actually go over my head all the time, and I need translators here telling me exactly like what things mean and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Jamal Rashawn, that shit trash. Lovely Heart available on all music platforms. Why you gotta shit on him, Rick Grimes? Like who knows? My husband is cheating on me right now. Is everyone being cheated on? Is that what's going on? Do you guys need a relationship guru right now? I don't know. I've never been cheated on or did any cheating, or at least as far as I know. But I mean, here's the thing. I know people feel some type of way when they get cheated on, but it's just like you're lost. Like, sorry, you messed up. Bye, Felicia. That's the way it should be. But I don't know. I think a lot of people get too hung up on, oh, whatever. Can we get some background music if possible, please? Nope, can't do it. Music rights problem. The only music I could play is like my instrumentals, but that's gonna kind of fuck up the audio. And I don't care to plug my stuff right now. I here's the thing, like with instrumentals and stuff, I thought it'd be pretty interesting if people who make electronic music actually made music videos, or like how Genius does those artist interviews, where they interview the person who made the song or the lyricist, and they talk about like, all right, so this is what this means. Here's where I got it from, blah blah blah, whatever. But I think it'd be interesting if you got people who made electronic music or instrumentals, and then you did the same thing where they discussed, I put this sound here because it just was missing the kind of energy. And so basically it's an interview with the artist, but it's all just instrumentals. I think that'd be pretty cool. So I'm going to experiment with that and do my own, and just like, all right, yeah, my name is here and this is my instrumental. And so I usually start off with this because I like the bass and all that, and they turn this energy, whatever. And I think that would be pretty cool. No music, please. He calls me crazy. Let's see. Let me get my hand out of the way. A King, Joshua Coleman. Hey, how's it going, man? On YouTube. What's up? How's it going, man? Cheryl R. On low, baby oil. I'm not sure what you mean. Starbucks is expensive. So you're referring to my video about like going. No, here's the thing. If you want, all right, dating advice. Okay, what he's referencing. So Tam Ban is probably referencing my video about like only take girls out first dates to Starbucks, show up early, and bring a book. And when she shows up late and sees you with the drink, obviously get your drink first, and then when she sees you with the drink, she's gonna go grab her own drink, so you're not actually paying for her and it's not awkward or anything like that. All right, so if you think Starbucks is expensive, which I mean it can be if like you go there a lot, what you could do is I usually go with the Peach Tranquility. Okay, it's a good herbal tea, non-caffeinated, especially late at night. You don't need something to keep you up all night. All right, and then but if you can't even afford the 350, or you're going out on a ton of dates, like you're swiping, you're matching, you're talking to girls, you got so many numbers, and you're going on like 3-5 dates a day, which technically you can do, then here's what you do. You buy your own tea from Walmart, Target, whatever. I think buy a good brand that you like, and then Starbucks will actually give you a cup of hot water for 50 cents, or actually 25 cents. They charge you the cost of the cup. And so then you could literally go out on a first date with a girl and spend 25 cents. And so you could just rack up the numbers. So try that if Starbucks is expensive, and then you look cool, and then bring a book. And so it's a whole vibe thing, whatever. Evening, Candy Rain, how's it going? I'm good, but I meant you, a king, a bald king. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're all kings, man. We're all kings. Here's the thing. It's not about being kings of everybody. It's finding your own kingdom and building it. I think that's where it's at. So it's like we all kings. Yeah. Crazy. In August, would you date V? I'm not sure what V is. What does V mean? King of inner peace. Yeah, I think that should be the goal of. All right, actually, let me not say should. Okay, people. That's probably the direction people might benefit in heading towards peace, inner peace. Like if you can find that, then I think you've won. Like I know a lot of people talk about happiness, but happiness is like a short-term ephemeral thing. Like things are only happy because relative to sadness, or shitty situations and where you weren't happy. And so if you think about it that way, then happiness is only a temporary state. But if you have inner peace, then you don't have a mind that fights itself. And I think that's where I'm trying to head. And maybe you guys would want to too. TikTok removed it. Oh, hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Our Burlock, follower of Jesus Christ. Hey, good for you. Hint, should is a modal verb. Grammar teaches us that that's how the speaker views the situation, not how the world should. Yes. I was that kid in school. You know what? I like smart people though. That's the thing. Like, I know it's so easy to grow on social media by just appealing to the average person, which I find incredibly insufferable. Because like, what do people like? What do people like? And you see it like even with Threads. I've been trying to be more active on Threads and stuff. So trying to go the platform there, and man, like all the check marks, all the verified people on Instagram, man, so boring. I like smart people, and you sound like it, Joshua. So I appreciate that correction. I never did well in English and grammar and stuff like that. So we all appreciate it. We all appreciate it. If you guys don't appreciate it, I'm going to make sure you do. I've never seen a glucose monitor like that. Wow, tech is so advanced nowadays for us elderly. It's a microphone. It's how you're hearing me. Road. People always ask this question. It's funny. What if she asked you to buy her something afterwards or call her an Uber? That's your decision. Like if you're vibing with the girl at Starbucks you like her. If she asks you, be like, you could finesse it in some other way. Be like, no, that's for the second date, whatever. I don't mind spending on a date after you've cleared her as a person to continue dating. So like after the date, if you're vibing with her, and if she asks you, I don't know, I think it's kind of iffy if she's asking you, but if you offer, that's fine. Like second dates, I pay, not a big deal. Like it is what it is. And the second dates, I choose what I like to do, and I invite her along. And so it's like, and then if you choose wisely, like I like ice skating, public skate admissions, like $6, something like that. It's nothing. I have my own skates, just rent her some skates. She's gonna suck, but I can skate really well. And you show expertise, and she's falling all over, and she starts grabbing, trying to hold on you. She's breaking the touch barrier. And then, it's a wrap from there. So that's it. That's it. Find your system, man. It could be a park. It could be golf or something. I don't know. Something that you like doing, that you can do a lot of. And so that's what I would say. But I don't know if you guys have any dating advice, feel free to put it in here. There's a guy, what's his name, who I've been seeing a lot of his videos, but I think he's like ruthless with this stuff. I would never could be. I'm just not a manipulative guy, so I've just been too honest, and I know it's cost me prospects, but I mean, I choose to operate that way. It is what it is. Dragons or dinosaur? Aren't they the same thing? They're the same thing, man. Islam is the truth, possibly. Blue cap. Okay, let me join. Why do you want to join, man? Okay, I'm good. Where am I from? I'm originally from California. I now am in Texas, USA. Let me join. Dude, definitely not joining now. You're spamming the chat, bro. I'll never ask a guy to buy me anything on a first date. Yeah, I don't know why girls would accept a drink from a dude, a stranger, on a first date. It's like, isn't that a huge liability? That's crazy. Why would people do that? I don't know. Seems unsafe, but whatever. Bro, let me join to speak. What's worse than ants in your pants? Uncles. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Oh, man. Let's have a good conversation. Dude, one, I don't know you. It's not like I'm not trying to give you clout. If I knew you, man, if you've been here several times and I know you're not going to just like get the stream banned or anything like that, then cool. Like, but I don't even know you, bro. So maybe one day, like DM me, or I got to check your stuff out too. Like, but I'm sure you're cool. But I've never invited someone on the live before, which is weird because it's like, I don't know how it's going to go. And I'm just having a random conversation. And plus, like, there's no topics here. I think it would be more fair to bring people on if they had an opinion about something specific that I think the chat was engaged with, but it is what it is. Squeezy, LOL. What's up, Terrell? How's it going? Hey, bro. Would you allow Shaquille O'Neal to wrap his lips around your John Stone? That's an interesting way of spelling it. John Stone. Bro, would you allow Shaquille O'Neal to wrap his lips around your John Stone? I don't get it. Like, where's the, or rather, like, you're missing the other half of that, Kern. Like, would you this or that? Would you rather? It's a would you rather. How are you going to say just would you? And like, the answer is no, obviously. Come on, man. Hey, bro, would you? How are you doing? I'm not going to get you banned. That's what everybody says. I've been banned a few times just accidentally talking about the wrong topic, I guess, or triggering the algorithm. Maybe near the end. I don't know. Like, what do you? I don't know, man. Trust me, dog. Yeah, that's what every troll says. Yes, dude. What's going on? We're just talking about anything and everything. I have some topics prepared based on videos I posted this week, like sympathy, overthinking. I thought about an interesting idea as like a placebo pharmacy, where you sell pills that aren't actually medicinal. It's just the thought that, because if you guys don't know, I used to work in pharma, so I can tell you a little bit about how drugs are actually tested. I got a chance to work with certain groups in the company I used to work for about clinical trials and stuff, and how they sing cupcake, deep throat politics. You want to talk about politics? What's on your mind, Joshua? What's on your mind? We could talk about Supreme Court rulings, whatever. I mean, they're the correct rulings, by the way. They're the correct ones. I know people feel some type of way, but your emotions don't matter. It's the legal grounds on which those decisions were made are valid. So it is what it is. Rip. It's squeeze love. I don't get it. How you doing? I'm good, Terrell. Squeeze love. Is that your name? I don't know. Let's see. Let me catch up with comments here. What's going on? We're talking about anything and everything, Jessica. Bro, says Hassan. You need to put an exclamation point and write it all in caps, and maybe I'll take it more seriously. You have a nice smile. What do I do? Social media and software. Hello there. I hope you have a great week full of love and light. Never forget you are amazing. Thank you, Wendy Allen. Is that how I say your name? Let's just talk about sympathy. What about it? Garlic is the best for health. Want some steel G steak? All right, let's see. Joshua on YouTube. By the way, we're on YouTube too. So I'm live streaming here, YouTube, and Twitch. Wow. What? The legacy of slavery still has impacts in this country. Using race-based admissions is necessary. That's the thing. Here's the problem with that, though. It's coming at the expense of another race, another minority. And that's the part that's kind of whatever. And apparently, like, I was listening to a podcast that was explaining, like, how this whole racial admission stuff was sort of as a cover for legacy admissions, in which case, like, we can all agree legacy admissions are unfair. And so, like, those shouldn't even exist in the first place. And so if that's the reason why those was motivating that, but it doesn't matter. I mean, like, yeah, you cannot discriminate based on race. Like, come on. Like England figured this out years ago. Why does it take us so long? And plus, you know, like certain states have already, or certain schools have already gotten rid of it, which yeah, whatever. We can get into all the different things. Did you join Threads? Yeah, I did. I've been pretty active there. I've been more trolling on there, not gonna lie. Just saying bullshit. A lot of talking shit, man. A lot. But I do hope to make it a more productive audience, though. Without accumulating, this is Joshua Coleman on YouTube. Without accumulating intellectual capital, there will be no accumulation of any other capital. Depending on the good graces of others will not work. What expense of another minority? England didn't have chattel slavery. England is responsible for the spreading of slavery across the world, man. Like, here's the thing. I don't think it's a capital problem. Obviously, there are some like systemic capital issues, but I think that's more, yeah, you could say you can't remedy the past by discriminating today. It's like you can't make up for the sins of the past by sinning today. I think that's morally speaking a good framework for that. But legally speaking, yeah, it's pretty clear. Like you can't, as much as you want it to be. That's the funny thing. Like Congress, if they could somehow pass legislation that to get rid of or to bring back racial discrimination, which I don't think anyone would be in favor of, then like that's what it would take. That's what it would take. So like possibly even a constitutional amendment, which I don't know. That's the thing, like how we feel and what we believe is right in the context of the legal stuff is not relevant. Like what is actually consistent with the legal doctrine in which all this is based on? And that's the thing. That's the argument you have to make. So it's like we can all agree morally, like, all right, it would be nice if there were certain more minorities, whatever, but like it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What's up with that forehead? Not much. I think it's the focal length of the camera, but whatever. Hey bro, did you join Threads? I did, because we're the strongest country in 2K plus years. Yeah. R. Kelly has joined. The Elon seems scared. Nah, I wouldn't be. They're already censoring, dude. Threads is already censoring. I know it's not going to be as free and open as Twitter is, which the belief is that if a social platform is open and free, that it will thrive. And I think that's to be true. We'll see it play out or not. But if that's the case, Threads ain't it. And plus, it's like all the people from Instagram who are all visual people. They're superficial people. You think they're readers? You think people on Instagram read books? No. And you think people on Instagram can come up with quick, witty replies to stuff? Not most of them. And so I don't think it's going to ever have the energy of Twitter. It's just going to be a separate thing that mostly brands are going to use. I think mostly Instagram brands and verified people are probably going to use. It is what it is. I have a confession. Pepper sprayed my ex's girlfriend's strap before I left. What are the legalities? I don't know. Like, is it sort of like, I don't know. I actually, because I have some experience with software, I was thinking like with Bluetooth devices and certain devices people use in the bedroom, and like, could you hack those? And is that technically that like grapes, you know? It gets really complicated when you think about all this stuff. I'm pretty sure there will be a Black Mirror episode, if there isn't one, about this kind of stuff. Let's see. Joshua Coleman, we could remedy the past in any other way. We could stop segregation and pay reparations, but we won't. Here's the thing. As far as reparations is concerned, I don't think it's going to be a hard sell to get Congress or even people to agree to give money to a certain segment of the population, which will always be people who don't actually have slavery in their family history. Because like if you look at admissions into universities, you find a lot of them are children of immigrants. I was one of them, but I went to a school that didn't do the affirmative action stuff, so I didn't get in for that. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of the Black students were immigrants. That's how it always is. But an alternative to just giving money to people is taxes. You can zero taxes. So instead of giving them money, you just take less. In fact, take none from the Black community, and maybe that's a way you could fix it. And I think a lot of white Republicans could get behind that because they hate taxes too. Now, they're not going to have that luxury, but at least heading in that direction is something that they can get behind. So that's a possibility. It's not even my idea. It was Hotep Jesus. Check their show out on YouTube. Hotep's Been Told You. They might have been banned, but I think as far as Black stuff, I think they cover it pretty well. I agree with you, but I was playing devil's advocate. Okay, slave owners were paid reparations by the federal government. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be hard to convince people to pay money to certain others. Let's see. What's worse than instant? Okay, you already said that. Hey, you look amazing in red. Thank you. Please, everyone, just pray for help us with a meal. If led, new single mom for a lift. You got to be able to write that out properly if you're going to be asking people for money. Come on. It's like, see, this is why, I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. But like, I remember, I feel like this might be like ChatGPT or a scam or whatever. But I remember getting a phone call and it was a woman's voice who was like replying to whatever. It wasn't like ChatGPT sophisticated, but it definitely was like waiting for a response and basically like has the conversation figured out, talking about deferral of taxes or whatever. And whatever, I was like, all right, it's a scam. And there was a big delay. But I think people have no idea. If I had an evil side to me, like truly, I could, man, there's so many gaps, so many security flaws in everything that we do. Oh my God. And people are always the weakest link. Social engineering, look it up. That's a thing. That's how people taken advantage of all the time. You think people are hacking into computer systems and stuff? No. People are openly giving access to their lives, their personal information, the things that they hold most dear all the time. If someone nefarious wants to come after you, you will be participating in your own scam. You will. And that's how they typically do it, which is scary because it's like, I was at Barnes & Noble today. You could buy a book, sort of like a notepad or something to write all your internet and passwords and organize it. I was just like, you know how dumb that is? But I know plenty of you probably do. You probably have a notepad. You know, if anybody hacked, here's another thing. If someone wanted to come after you, all they would have to do is figure out how to get access to your iPhone notepad. Because I know a bunch of people who use that as a way to store passwords. This is like once they have that, and then once they have access to your email, oh man, like then your entire life is an open book because your email is the access to everything else, the two-factor authentication and everything like that. So it's like it's unreasonable to expect people to memorize a bunch of passwords, but I think your email passwords should be uniquely different from any other password you use. Your banking also, and those should only be those have to be memorized. They have to be memorized, not written down anywhere else. All the other ones, if you want to repeat for all your streaming platforms, you have the same passwords and logins, whatever, fine. If anyone finds those lists, whatever, you're good because it's different from your email and your banking. And your banking and email should be different too. And so I think that's a reasonable balance between those two. Are we hearing audio directly from that Rode mic? Yep. Yeah, you are, Skull. It's way easier to hack people than computers. Way easier. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy how much easier. You wear an orange high-vis vest, you can walk into anywhere, bro. And you just act like you belong there. You walk in. It's so easy. It's crazy how trusting people are of just everything. And I see this all the time. I'm like, and I have conversations with like the people around me all the time. Like, if I wanted to do that, I could do that. Like, I could totally get in there. I could totally take that. I could totally steal that from that person. So easy. I don't do it, but I'm just saying, it's just like, whatever, dude. Whatever. It's crazy how insecure our lives really are. And people want to talk about privacy. Like, what the fuck? Makes no sense, man. Makes no sense. Priorities, man. Whatever. Breaking into iCloud is nothing. I suggest Rogaine or a toupee. I like my bald head. So, sorry. If you're talking about the beard is pretty full. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty full. So, Dropbox, etc. Yeah, I don't know. People have no idea how vulnerable their lives are. But I don't think you guys came here to talk about cybersecurity. So we could talk about anything else, anything you guys want. And it's sort of the idea behind the Table Moments podcast is to talk about anything and everything. And it is what it is. And like the kind of conversations you have with your friends, when you're hanging out at the table, eating lunch or dinner, and you guys are just talking about random whatever, arguing about whatever, random ass conversations. That's what this is. And this is the live version. We usually go early. I usually start streaming on YouTube and Twitch early, which I'm actually streaming on right now too, if you guys want to see me in higher def, in horizontal. And I'll be able to see your comments there, and they get a priority for sure. Joshua Coleman on YouTube, you make me want to go bald. I wouldn't just go bald just for the sake of it. I mean, like, there is an advantage to having a head of hair, not gonna lie. Like, here's the thing, people are incredibly shallow. It's crazy. And there's a really good book, Influenced by Robert Cialdini. I've mentioned it on the stream before multiple times, but basically one of the principles of persuasion is this appeal. People have to have an appeal towards you. And so like this halo effect, this idea of being attractive is an advantage in life, and hair is a part of that. Now, I'm fortunate enough to look decent without hair, and that could have gone entirely wrong way too. So we need more conversation between you and your brother. Oh yeah, you enjoyed that? Do you actually listen to the episodes, or is it the videos you're talking about on YouTube? I think, yeah, my brother and I, when my younger brother and I talk, we usually talk entrepreneurship and relationships and stuff. But I think it'd be interesting if I expanded the in-person conversations to like other people too. Maybe people we've invited on the street, asking them questions, bring them on, because I live in Austin. The episodes, yeah, for sure. We'll look into it. Yeah, I'll try to set those up, but I mean, we're in different locations, so he comes through every now and then. Hey, can you pick up some wipes for Luca on your way home? We just ran out. I'm not sure what that means. Dog, those nippy hippopotamus pokies noses of handsome treasure African warriors. That is a statement in all caps. I don't know why you felt the need to shout that, but opposite ending of percentage. Good on you, man. Good for you. The episodes, yeah. Yeah. I want to take, man, every time I think like, here's the thing. With the whole YouTube thing, I don't want to take the path everyone else does. For some reason, I always got to make it harder on myself. It's just like, I could do reactions. Reactions do really well, dude. Really, really well. Like on TikTok, especially when I take a video, a viral clip of something that I think people got completely wrong and flip it on people's heads. And those videos go really, really well. Or like when I say something controversial and explain it, like lie on your resume, that video is probably going to break 1 million in like a few days or something, which is crazy. It's the first video of just me talking without actually using. What's the topic? We talk about anything. So if there's anything on your mind, feel free to ask it. But it's just a random conversation about anything and everything. That's what we do here. But yeah, people like reactions. I'm like, oh man, that's too easy to make. Street interviews are fun because we get to have conversations with people. I'm Ayman. My name is Ayman, and I'm the host and captain of Table Moments podcast, where we talk about anything and everything and laugh our asses off. That's what it is. Hello, user. Welcome to the stream. Also on YouTube and Twitch. Welcome. I missed the guys on Twitch last week were funny, just trolling the whole time. And some topics I have prepared for this week are based on the videos that I posted this week. So sympathy, like some people just need to be sympathized with, so they constantly talk about their problems and complain a lot. I'm sure you guys have some people like that in your life. I don't know why you indulge them or why they even decide to operate that way. I also talk about overthinking. So how like, especially intellectual types have this really, really bad habit of overanalyzing everything before actually doing anything. And so it's sort of inhibiting in actually getting anything done. And the secret I found is the rule I use now is just to get out of your own way. And so for me, it's like I constantly like do research and read and analyze and feel like I'm not ready yet. So I learn more. And instead, without actually getting started, and then I wait so long that I get pissed off at myself for waiting too long that I finally just get started. Instead, my rule right now is read it when you need it. So I'll do the learnings when I get to a point where I can't move forward without knowing it, without knowing the knowledge. Until then, I just keep moving forward and push. And so, yeah, I know it's a struggle us intellectual types have to go through. And here's the thing, like, people think you have to be smart to be successful. No, I think you have to sort of you got to dumb it down. You got to dumb yourself down and offer something people can understand. So not only do you have to overcome your own mind, but you also have to get down to the level of the average person and understand the things that they like, the things that they're into, because that's where the market is. And that's the struggle. And so it's not being smart. It's being action oriented, which is easy to do when you don't have your brain fighting you. And so my rule is read it when you need it. That's the rule I've been going through. I think the best antidote is that is playing a sport into adulthood. Interesting. Could you explain that one, Joshua? Yeah, you know the feeling, Thamar, Zanice, Lane, how's it going? You feel the same way? The Twitch nerds are lacking this week. Yeah, there's no Twitch nerds this week. I think you're a good guy. Oh, thank you. But I try. I'm an asshole, actually. I'm a real asshole. I just come off as a nice guy here. A good guy. I don't like the word nice. Nice is just fake kindness, right? I'm like a benevolent joker, I would say. Like I'm not going to do anything evil, but I will push people's buttons because why not? Anything else is just boring. And people find that as very asshole-ish behavior. But I'm okay. I'm cool with it. I don't care what people think. That's the thing. I really don't. I found soccer and wrestling work best for me. It's only when I stop playing sports that I get lost in overanalyzing things. That only happens when you're alone. Interesting. Maybe I should get into something. I've been thinking about cycling, but I like speed bags. And so maybe boxing. Wrestling would be interesting. I wish there were like adult wrestling leagues because I don't know, combat sports, hitting your face, concussions, all that. Jiu-jitsu, I guess, is the equivalent that people have, but I like classical American wrestling. I don't know, that just seems more like useful, but whatever. Because what are the chances you're gonna be wearing a gi and like barefoot BJJ stuff like that, whatever. But interesting. I'm definitely gonna look into that, Joshua. Thank you for that. Look at that. See, that's the thing about the audience here. I think we can attract all the like more intellectual people, but also realize our shortcomings because it also takes a smart person to rationalize anything. You can rationalize anything, and so that's why you see all this like crazy stuff come out of universities. Just like, what the fuck? What are you guys talking about? It's like, yeah, that's what happens when you're surrounded by a bunch of intellectuals. Sometimes you can overanalyze your way into believing anything is true, anything, which is also a problem that you got to fight. So it's like it's almost like a burden that you have to carry and realize it is a shortcoming in a lot of contexts in the modern world. Now, in certain very specific fields, it's very, very useful. But again, like the smart people, they're usually the people working in the thing. They're not the one running the thing. And so again, like what do they say? C students run businesses. Who A students and B students work for C students or something like that. Whatever. What's my field? It was originally engineering, and then I got out of that, and now I'm into like social media and software and stuff. Come up with all these and try to build software for social media. Hello from South Carolina. What's up, Jay? How's it going? Sometimes ignorance is bliss. Yeah, don't I know it? Oh my god. Like, I don't like knowing the things I know, but at the same time, I can't help it. It's like one of those internal conflicts about like, what's true, or at least you have a hunch that it's not true. So you look into it and you realize it's all bullshit. And then you're surrounded by people who believe it. And so then there's this disconnect that you have with the rest of the world because you know things that they don't. And then you're in this position of like, should I tell them? But they're not going to accept it, especially if it's something that they personally believe wholeheartedly is true. Because then you have the whole cognitive dissonance that can come with that. And it's just like, man, it's a burden you carry, I would say. But I don't know, what have your guys' experience been with this? Intellectuals usually are used and abused because they tend to be idealistic. Yeah, I think so. I think they have a perception of the world that just isn't true. And for me, over the last like literally few years, I've been learning slowly to accept the world as it is. And it sucks, man. It sucks. But I think also creatives also fall into this category of being used and abused but in their case, for the love of the work. And I would love to solve that problem one day to help creatives monetize the stuff that they do. And you just stay quiet, Jay. That's very mature of you. I'm not gonna lie. Like for me, my rule, I remember I would always call people out, just like, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's bullshit. Come on. That's not true. And then here's why it's not true. And here's what I learned, and blah, 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 or whatever. Now here on the live, I'm gonna push back if you guys believe something that I know is BS, whatever. I'm gonna tell you guys, or at least give you my opinions on it. But here you have an opportunity. You came in voluntarily, you can leave voluntarily too. So that's my rule. I can be honest and upfront and proffer a lot of this information here. Now, socially, like when I'm interacting with people, I'm just like, I gotta feel them out to see if there's someone who is even open to hearing certain things. If not, then I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna let them believe what. Because one of the things I've learned to accept is that you don't owe people the truth, generally speaking. Like you just don't. Like I thought I did, and then I realized, you know what? A lot of people don't even deserve it. And so it's just like, let people believe what they want to believe. It's all good. They have a right to believe what they want to believe. And if they're not looking to learn more or hear a different perspective, you don't have to share it. You don't have to share it, and let them believe what they want to believe. And it is what it is. Who knows? Maybe you're wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, and whatever. But I mean, if they choose to engage with me, I'm gonna give it how I see it. And so that's my rule. That's how I've been doing it. I just stay quiet. INTJUR. You know that whole Myers-Briggs thing is bullshit, right? See, this is a good example of like I'm offering the information. You didn't ask for it. It's probably a good category to describe me, but the whole Myers-Briggs thing is completely made up bullshit. But Here's the thing, it gives people identity, which is why I understand why it's gotten traction. Especially, it's weird to hear it in the corporate world, because they are the ones who were supposed to be more objective, and then you realize, oh, they fall for the astrological science bullshit too, except they call it like Myers-Briggs, and they write all these books or whatever. And I remember, like, in the corporate world, like, my boss and everything's like, oh, take this quiz, it's for like seeing how we all are or whatever. I think it oversimplifies our personalities too, because it's sort of like cold reading is what they do. If you guys don't know what that is, this is the strategy like a lot of like mystics who like read your mind and stuff use. They're using statements and ideas about your personality that are general enough to apply to anybody. Everybody feels like they're misunderstood. Everybody feels like there's a side of them they've never gotten a chance to explore, but they're also reserved a lot of the time. A lot of people feel like they can be very social in certain situations, but in other times they just want to be alone at home and watch Netflix, like all those things I just mentioned, most people feel. And so it's like, but then you put them in different categories, you use different words to describe them, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's my personality, blah blah blah. It's just like, it's all just cold reading. It is what it is. If it makes you feel good, cool. But I appreciate it, user, for identifying who I am. But I think a lot of people who are attracted to this kind of dialogue here are sort of like me in a way. Like, I think if this was just audio only, you guys might be the type of people who already like listening to podcasts, intellectual stuff, or like exploring different ideas of different topics, of things that maybe you are or aren't familiar with, probably well read or something like that. Is guesses I'm making right now, but that's what I would say possibly you guys are. I feel this so hard. I'm sure. I think you were referring to what I was talking about earlier about like intellectuals, whatever. Hey, Trey, how's it going? Haha. So, what category are you indulging me? I don't know. I don't know if I fit in a category. That's the thing. Like, I don't think anybody does generally. We're all multifaceted. Now, a lot of us don't explore the other facets of ourselves because of, usually it's like social suppression. Like, you hide certain parts of yourself in certain environments. So we all transform. Like, you have your work personality, you have your friends and family personality, you have your alone personality, how you are like by yourself, or like different with different groups of people, you are different ways and all that. And so I think we're all just like different when we need to be. So like, even on this live, you think I'm a talkative person? And well, my girl might say I am, but like, I'm not this talkative, or like, obviously, like, I've been on here for 52 minutes. I'm probably going to go for another hour or two. I'm not a social person, generally speaking. Like, I don't talk to people like that. I'm pretty introverted, extreme introvert, extreme. Like, if you knew me back in high school, it would be kind of crazy that I do live streams now. It's crazy. But I mean, we all have facets, is what I would say. Kelly, yes. Yo, someone said they would fix me on here. Fix you what? What do you mean? But I think that's what we all are. And so I don't know if I can give you categories, but introvert, got that correct. Yeah, you did get that correct. But again, like, here's the thing. I've had this conversation with my sister about how, like, it's the cool thing now. It's the in thing to be considered an introvert. You notice that even people who are like super social and be like, oh, I'm kind of introverted a lot of times. And it's like, bro, what are you talking about? It's the cool thing to be like inward focused now. It's the cool thing. And so, like, a lot of extroverts out here pretending to be introverts. And it's just like, all right, bro. Yeah, when are you going to go to the club? This weekend? Got it. Yeah, when was the last time you were in a library and enjoyed it? When was the last time you went for a long walk in the park listening to a podcast? Not even listening to a podcast. You just had the headphones on so nobody bothered you while you thought about your thoughts or even spoke to yourself, It's just like, it's like such bullshit. Whatever. People lie to themselves all the time. It is what it is. It's fine. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So yeah, personalities are interesting. And I think we all develop over time. That's a cool thing about all this. Like, or at least I hope that people do. Here's the thing. I can't confirm that other people have. I hope people have, but I know for sure I have. I've made dramatic changes in my personality. It's crazy. Just even doing this whole like social media stuff, connecting with people in the comment section or doing live streams here with you guys. Like even just being able to speak on a live stream for hours at a time. This took practice. I started late last year, coming up on 1 year of doing this stuff once a week. And even in just this last year, I've changed so much that I can even do something like this. It's crazy. It's I posted on my business account like once a day. If you commit yourself to doing something once a day, you won't notice it day to day, but over time you'll notice that things that were seemingly difficult in the beginning now become routine. And the once a day thing for me was post a video every day, and that's how I grew the TikTok account and stuff. I wouldn't say I'm good at this stuff. Like I'm not strategic about hooks. I'm not using fancy editing skills other than just jump cuts. I do add captions, but that's about it. I usually record 3.5 minutes of some idea that sparks in my head, and I just hit the selfie camera on my iPhone and just record me speaking, and then cut that up into something that possibly might be interesting to watch in to something under a minute, and then that's it. And then I post, and that's all I've done. I am, yeah. And now it's like 55,000. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now, I'm sure there are better ways to grow, but this is the way I figured out how to do it. It's not for everybody. I'm willing to grind the shit out if I have to. And I've changed in the process. I've learned to become comfortable in front of cameras, like this camera in front of me. So I have another one on YouTube. Hi, YouTube and Twitch. They're over here. I'm live streaming there too. I've learned to ignore the camera. So you sound like a computer engineer. That's close, actually. I do software now, but I originally was a mechanical engineer. Caribbean origin? Nope. East African origin. Parents are from there. I was born in the U.S. So, born in the U.S. And I'm proud American. America, fuck yeah. Second guess. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do I look it? Or can I pass for black with this new haircut? You know, this is the first time I got my beard trimmed at a barbershop, literally a couple days ago. You into any sports? DB, nice to see you here again. Are you talking about watching or actually playing? I don't watch sports other than Formula One. And as far as playing, I haven't played in a while. I just lift weights. But if I were to get back into a sport, it would probably be like a basketball court version of soccer. It's called futsal. Brazilians play it a lot, but it's a more faster paced version of soccer with a smaller ball. You've never been to a barbershop? I've been to a barbershop once when I was a kid. And futsal, yeah, I like that. Used to play in the backyard with my brother all the time. I like that the rolling of the ball. It's much faster paced than playing on grass or whatever. And I like all the like tricks and stuff you can do, bouncing off the walls. It gets really fun. Then it's like physics and stuff like that. It's really cool. I've been to a barbershop though. I have been, but this is the first time. But I've only been once before this one, once, and this time was for my beard. First time I ever got my beard done. And I was just gonna go to like Supercuts or something, but my girl was like, "Nah, let me schedule an appointment at a black barbershop." It's like, all right, whatever, let's do it. And he gave me this cut, this line up. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? It's not my style. I like it more like rough, but it is what it is. It's yeah. Kenyan, East African origin, Eritrea. Congratulations on coming out the closet. Nice, whatever, Johnny Pants. Damn, so you never got a fresh fade? No, never, dude. I went bald. Here's the funny thing. My dad, when I was like 10, 11, 12, something like that, he took me to an Asian barbershop. And so they cut my hair and then gave me the spikes. They put like whatever gel in it and it gave me like the spiky hair, like a lot of Asian guys have. I had that, and that was the only time I ever been to a barbershop. Outside of that, I either cut my hair or my parents cut my hair because I don't care about hair like that. And then yeah, this is my first time getting my beard at a. You know, it's cool. I could do this too with a pair of clippers. You didn't really do much, but whatever. Sounds like you was sweating at the barbershop. Not really. I mean, it was just like zzz, and he takes his work seriously. Follow him on Instagram, Ken the Barber. Apparently, he got a chance to cut Rajon Rondo's hair once, like back in 2021 or whatever. But he did me okay. This is his work here, pretty good. So follow him on Instagram, Ken the Barber. I think, or is it Ken the Barber? Let me double check. I don't want to be plugging the wrong thing here. That kind of sucks. I did get some video, so you might see a video of it soon. But yeah, Ken the Artist actually is his Instagram, Ken the Artist. But he does good work if you like the style for sure. St. Louis barber, Atlanta barber, he goes between. KENNTHEARTISTT_. Ken the Artist. Let's see. Sound like you're sweating. You look Igbo. I don't know what that. Yeah, Saracen. Yeah. Apple CEO, my boy got no hair fade. I see you. You look like if what? Hello, Patrick, Ashley, Microsoft, Seattle. Say hi back, please. Why? I don't know what's going on with people today. And you guys are so demanding. Why don't you guys say, you said please. So I wouldn't say that's demanding. It's just how it comes off in text form. You guys ever notice that? How like texting something, you guys ever have this issue sometimes when you text people? They're like, why'd you say it like that? It's like, what do you mean? I didn't mean it that way. It's just words. That's why I don't take words too seriously, because like people really like interpret things in certain ways sometimes that I'm just like, what? That's not what I meant. But it is what it is. Girls tend to have this problem sometimes with interpretation, but we still love you anyways, I guess. No worries, Patrick. No worries, Patrick Ashley. That's interesting. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm okay with it. I think it's a good compliment that both men and women have. Like balance. Here's the thing. I've been having this conversation too. Like you can't let her change you, fellas. You can't let her change you. Okay, they can't help themselves. They gotta talk about everything. Like, oh, you're mean. Oh, you say whatever. Blah blah blah. It's like, no. I'm just being me. All right. I've always been this way. Nothing changed. They want to change you. And here's the thing: the fight, fellas, to save your relationship is against her and the world. Okay. The world, because it'll likely try to split you guys apart, right? But her, because she doesn't even realize what she's doing. She doesn't realize that she's changing you into something that didn't get her in the first place. Okay. Stay the guy that got her and learn to ignore her a lot of the time. Happy wife, happy life. Nope. I completely disagree with that. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments below. Yes, put a 1 in the chat if yes, you think happy wife, happy life, or 2 in the chat if you think, nah, that ain't my life. That ain't my life. Go ahead, put it in the chat. Happy wife, happy life is such bullshit. Patrick, you love how I say your name? A 1? Okay. We know people taking L's out here, guys. What? Wrong. It's okay to be wrong, though. But yes, you guys are wrong. Happy wife, happy life. Oh my God. My dad used to say that too. I'm like, nope. Nah. I do not subscribe to that at all. But it goes both ways. No, I don't think so. Here's the thing. It's so easy as men. Actually, let you guys keep voting, but it's so easy as men to be so self-sacrificial for your family. Like most men are good, decent men, okay? And it's so easy to just put your family ahead of yourself, which at the expense of yourself. And when you break yourself in order to serve, it turns out people won't appreciate it because you don't even respect yourself. And then 2, like you won't be giving him the full version of you. And so you do have to put yourself first, fellas, in a way. Sort of like how they say in a aircraft emergency, you put your mask on first. You have to take care of yourself first in order to be able to serve others. And so happy husband, happy everybody is what I would say. You'll find out. Because like a happy guy wants to serve. A happy guy and his family wants to help everybody around him. Like a happy wife is just happy herself. Like, and even then, like women can't just be satisfied with the way things are. It's always more. Like, what's that joke that people make about like you offer women there are 7 floors in a building, and you tell women at every floor is going to be a certain type of guy, and then whatever. Or there's a bunch of floors, and as they go up and up, they upgrade the men, and finally at the last floor, they get the perfect guy who has everything that they want: rich, attractive, fit, all the things, good family man. Your parents love him, blah, blah, blah. And even then, she goes to the next floor trying to upgrade that. And like, that was the last floor. Yeah, women can't be satisfied, man. Sorry. And so you just got to manage her expectations. If she's too happy, she thinks you are whipped, and look for someone stronger. Yeah. It's like they can't even help themselves, bro. They can't help themselves. It's just like, man. So it's like, yeah, anything that divides us is never right. We are all one. BS. It's okay. Just do happy life on Easter. Yeah. What do you think about a female that cheats on you on Valentine's Day? It's weird that you're specific to Valentine's Day, but anyone who cheats on me is just like, whatever, I'll move on. Just end the relationship. It's done. It's just have your boundaries, and if it's crossed, move on. Like, I don't see any reason why you should be bitter about it. I can't. Here's the thing. Maybe I'm just speaking ideally because I'm, as far as I know, never been cheated on. So, but if I were cheated on, I'd just be like, yeah, okay, bye. Whether or not the dude was better or worse or whatever the fuck, I don't care. Like, this was a commitment between me and her, and if she decides to break that, like, all right, fine. Thank you. Actually, you should be thanking people who cheat on you, because they're telling you who they are or what they think of you and the relationship, and it saves you time. You can move on. You should always appreciate it when bad people do bad things to you, because it's like at least they were honest, or at least you found out the truth. You found out the truth, which is the most important thing. So then you can live your life as you want. She moving out on Valentine. Yeah. I don't understand why the Valentine's thing matters, because like I feel some type of way about Valentine's Day. I don't like celebrating it at all. Even if you're in a relationship, you should consider not doing it. You should consider, I even made a video about this, about like waiting the next day to get everything at like 50-60% off, and you could do that and be able to buy her bunches of bouquets or whatever. Empower a man, he enriches himself. Empower a woman, she enriches her community. I think you have it flipped. That's the thing. I think you have it flipped. Empower a man, he enriches everybody around him. Because a happy man is just like men seek purpose. It's the thing that we all are driven to do, especially to serve, to provide. And so it's like that's not an innate thing in women. Women's have an innate thing to reproduce, to have children, to take care of children. Not saying you have to. I'm just saying, like, you see how women behave around children, especially their own children. It's like their children are the priority. They are about life preservation of their offspring. It's not about the relationship, which is why when you see like when families break up or whatever, and like mom and dad get divorced, and she's like super vicious. It's like because in her head she thinks she's protecting the kids from the dad, and it's just like, yo, like, no, women are not in that position. But whatever, we can disagree though. That's because we need the best love. We are the prize. I'm gonna assume you're a woman. In the social sense, you are considered the prize because you're the ones who actually produce babies, which obviously, but even women don't even value that of themselves, which is crazy. It's crazy to me that women are like, yeah, no, it's like, yeah, I don't have to get into it. And I'm sure it's going to get the live ban, but I think you guys know where I'm headed with this. So you like dudes? I think you missed the whole thing. I was with her for 5 years, and she was with him for 2 years cheating. Damn. How do you not know though? But like, how do you? I don't know. I'm going to need some more details, Matt Carter. Like, how was she doing anything suspicious? I mean, like if your girl's doing some, I don't know. Hey, Zoe, how's it going? The other dude posted V-Day pics on Instagram and Rose is on bed and everything. Why are you guys doing this? Oh my God. Guys, if she's excited that you got her favorite soda at, I don't know. That's probably not a good example, but like small gestures should be super exciting for her. Not this big elaborate shit. Like stop, guys. Come on. Like if you go so hard all the time trying to like make her happy. And even then I find myself sometimes being a little too gracious with my generosity. And sometimes I have to remind myself like, motherfucker, what are you doing? Like roll it back. You got to game her too, which unfortunately is the case, but whatever. I don't like it, but it is what it is. Hi, Wed the Eri. Cindy flips, clap, 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 and the heart with the hands. Cool. Man made the community. Yep, exactly, John. I think we're on the same page on a lot of things, which is why it's dope having you around. Plus, you have a lot of wisdom to give. Be glad it wasn't a 10. Do you believe after divorce, women have high expectations from men? What do you mean? After a woman gets divorced? I don't know. I can't. Do they have high expectations for men? I think it's really comes down to the position a woman's in. I mean, would be true for men too. Like what you can get. Like, if what you mean is like after a woman gets divorced, do they expect more from men? Whatever. I don't know. Like it is crazy to me that as women get older, if they are single, they become more selective, which is kind of the opposite of what they should be doing if they actually want the outcome that they say they want. Um, Whatever. I mean, I don't care to convince women of whatever. There's plenty of people on TikTok who do this shit. I don't care. Like Kevin Samuels was your savior and he's gone. So bye. I'm not here to save women. But or with that question, do you believe divorced women have high expectations? I don't know. I don't know. But perhaps you can speak from experience. What women don't value family and children? Most do. They value children. They don't value the family part. They value the children part, which is why, like, when they can be so mean and aggressive towards the father, sometimes it's kind of weird. But it's kind of weird if you don't understand that. You're like, oh, but don't you care for your kids to have the father in their life, even though you guys are divorced? No, they don't. They don't. Like, they care about the children first. The children are the priority, which I would say, yeah, that's true. Women, um, so much so, in fact, that they're even cautious. They'll take proactive action to protect the children, even if it's unjustified, which is why, like, women's fear is often used to manipulate them, because you guys are honestly scared of a lot of things, which evolutionarily speaking, you should be. But in a modern world, it's kind of unreasonable and sort of puts you in a vulnerable position to manipulation. So, but it's a whole deep psychological thing that, I mean, we could talk about more, but I mean, I'm sure part of you knows that already. John Campbell, solo travel. How can they value children when abortion is the most important thing to them? Yeah, that's also another thing. That's a very good point, John. Like, because they are the prize because they are the ones who carry the children. They have the wombs. They're the ones who produce the babies, at least inside internally. You still do need half the genetic material to come from a man, but then when you realize that, and then you realize like they don't even value it in the sense that they value abortions more. It's just, or a lot of women do. It's just like, okay, you don't actually value the children. You value your own self choices sometimes more. On a global scale, that is not happening often. Stop being weird. Don't call him names, Kira. John's cool. John's cool. He's not being weird. He's making a good point. But on a global scale, I would agree. Yeah, it's not a common thing. In Western countries, it is, and it's usually covered in the news probably more often than it should, but it does happen a lot more than you would expect in Western countries if they really understood what was going on. You want a sausage party? No, we're just being honest. That's the thing. Like, John's just keeping it real. I think you ladies might be getting a little too sensitive here. Yes. Hi. What? What women are around you, sir? Plenty. I don't know. Women come in this chat all the time, and I have to like correct you guys. It's crazy. All the time I have to do this. Like John knows. Like he's been here like weeks, several weeks to these lives. I always have to correct you guys. Women have some complete misunderstandings about a lot of things. I care about both. Hello, beautiful. Oh, what women are. Here's the thing, Kira, you're probably different from a lot of other women. I wouldn't be surprised if you come from either an immigrant family or you live overseas. But like, there are a lot of women who, even who would never get one themselves, still would support. It's just crazy how it all works out when you start pointing out the contradictions and hypocrisy of it all. But you know, I don't care to convince people. Here's the thing: it's an emotional issue for a lot of people, and so I don't know if people are even capable of having this conversation. But like, whatever. I care about both. Good for you, Cindy. Good for you, Cindy. Property investor and nurse. Good for you. Hello, beautiful. Says Wagga Gaga. He is being weird. Why would you bring up abortion when bringing up women? It's a what do they call it now? Women's health issue. That's funny they call it that, by the way. It's funny they call it that because you sort of have to reframe it. But I see where he's coming from. What's worse than answering your is everyone just using this statement? Because this is the third time I've heard that. I'm just here for some extremism. Good for you. You understand this place. Let's see. I can borrow $1. I freeload off your taxes. God, serious clown, meowdy partner. I like that. Welcome, welcome. Where do you live? I live in. You know, someone mentioned like people are trying to dox me or whatever, but I live in Texas. I'm not in Texas right now, but I live in Texas. Katrina, nice to see you here though. Talk about violation of privacy. I think the tech companies have sort of conditioned everyone to not care about privacy anymore, which kind of opens up some opportunities to like give people more freedom, weirdly enough. Like, you know, all these tech companies want to pretend like they care about privacy. It's like, no, they care about exclusive access to your information. That's what they care about. Like, you think Apple gives a fuck about privacy? No, they care that they have access to your information and nobody else does. And they frame it as privacy. Same thing with Google. All these tech, they're all full of shit, is what I'm saying. They're all full of shit. Whatever. Listening to men and their thoughts, y'all say wild things. Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of it. We can say wild things that sound wild to you and make all the sense in the world and you not understand it, and that's your existence. It's okay. It's okay. We accept you for you, Kira, solo traveler. Check her stuff out, guys. Travel guide. She has travel guides and stuff. In Texas, I'll be there in August. Oh, okay. I live in Texas. I hope there's still water by next decade. I don't know. I recently just moved to Texas like a few months ago, so I don't know what it's like in the summer and whether or not they have drought issues or whatever. What's your occupation? I do software and social media. 80% of divorces are filed by women. If the woman's educated, it's 90%, and those children do worse. Yeah, I think there's some misunderstanding about the divorce rate thing. Yeah, you know, being filing for divorce versus like causing that action to happen. So like, I'm sure there are situations, plenty of those situations where a woman is justified. The woman was justified for filing divorce. Maybe it's like a violent situation, or which women will always go to, by the way. Like, men notice this, by the way, ladies, when all the time every one of your old relationships was abusive in some way, you know, like we notice like how you guys bring that up, and then when you start looking into some of these stories, you're like, I don't know, he was just maybe a little mean, but he never hit you, touched you, whatever. It's like, all right, whatever. But I'm sure there's more to that than just, because here's the thing, statistics are often used to deceive what people believe. So I would definitely double check that number. And you know, when people give percentages, they're hiding the numbers, and when people give numbers, they're hiding the percentage. And so it's like, it's always looking at both sides. So even if that's true, which, yeah, it sounds pretty extreme. it is what it is. I mean, like, you guys know how I feel about like marriage licenses and stuff. I don't like the idea that government's even involved in the whole like marriage thing in the first place. So, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And when you look at the history of like marriage law and why that even exists, or like marriage licenses and why that exists, it's a pretty dark history. Pretty dark history. It was started off as miscegenation laws. Miscegenation is like intermarrying between races, and it was supposed to prevent that. That's why marriage licenses exist in the first place, is to keep blacks and whites from marrying each other. And the government was giving permission, so to get marital benefits that the government provides. And this is the whole thing. I've looked into it, and so why even involve yourself in a thing? I don't know. Let me catch up with comments. Lose your privacy, lose your freedom, but you aren't smart enough to realize it. You've already lost your privacy. Now the question is, can we all lose our privacy at the same time and still maintain freedom? You know, so that's the thing. Because it's like technology is just headed that way. The conveniences of life sort of require it. And you can't go backwards either, unless you want to live in the Stone Age or like live a much more difficult. Which I mean, I respect people who live that way too, but you're not going to have the modern conveniences that life today offers if you. And what do you mean by privacy? It's like there are levels of privacy too. So like everything that we're talking about right now is being funneled through NSA servers. Like, okay, like where's the privacy there? You know, like your Wi-Fi network is not secure. Someone could hack into it anytime. We were actually talking about this stuff earlier. So it's like, as much as I appreciate privacy, I wish there were more of it. I've realized and I've learned to accept that people do not give a fuck about privacy. And because people don't give a fuck, it's not offered, you know? And it's hard for me to accept, but it's just one of those things. I see people all the time. It's just like, why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why do you have your thing there? Why do you even I post content all the time. Like how are you going to grow an audience by being private? I don't know. People try to like do whatever. Let me just catch up. Apparently you lose your ability to spell. Let's not make fun of each other on this stupid shit, guys. Come on. You're a podcaster. I don't know your niche. I don't have a niche. That's the problem, I think, with this. Could be a problem, or it could just be a whole new lane that I'm making here. But it's about anything and everything. So every week we talk about different things. This week's episode is just me and my brother and someone close to us where we talk about like marriage and what my brother might be looking for in dating and all that stuff. And I think it was a pretty interesting episode. Like previous weeks, we had a former Jehovah's Witness talk about his experience leaving the faith and how his family felt about it. Another episode, we talked about an OF model. We talked with an OF model about the industry and what that's like and all that. And then even before that, we talked with a software developer to talk about AI and its impact on. It's like we're all over the place. So we don't have a niche. It's the kind of conversations you have with your friends, sort of like how this live is going, where we jump around all over the place. And I'm actually also live streaming on YouTube and Twitch if you guys care to see me in horizontal video too. You'll be able to comment there, and I prioritize those comments. At John Campbell, bitterly divorced. Why'd you have to add the bitterly though? Yeah, you guys are being spicy today. How do you feel about the passport bros? Yay or nay? I mean, if they find love overseas, it's good for the women there because they get to upgrade their lifestyle, which they honestly would not have access to domestically. The men get women, I guess. But here's the thing. There's also like, if you can't get a woman here, is it likely you'll be able to keep a woman there? I mean, if resources is the only thing that's keeping you guys together and your arbitrage value of your US currency versus that domestic currency, then I don't know how legitimate a relationship it could be. Yes, women there are more feminine, more culturally conservative and all that, and which a lot of guys are looking for, which, I mean, like if you find it, go for it. I did make a video here about talking about you don't even need to go overseas to find girls who are like that. There are pockets of immigrant communities here in the US who have those values. You just got to go find them. Like if you want Somali women, go to Minnesota. There's Minneapolis, there's a region of that city called Little Mogadishu. Huge immigrant population. Toronto is a big one for a lot of immigrants, so you might be able to find some traditional, culturally conservative women there. Dallas, Texas, apparently is a place for East Africans if you guys are into that, you know. And then some guys in the comments of that video were giving their recommendations of like where to find Asian women or Latino women, whatever, all that. I don't know if there are. And then if you want to find culturally feminine white women, probably like Utah or something like that. Religious probably is what you'd have to go with, but yeah, I don't mind it. I don't, but I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna let people live how they want. I'm not gonna judge them either. Like, if that works for you, that works for you, and that's good for her too. It sucks for the men in those countries. Like one episode on the podcast, we invited someone from Ethiopia, who grew up there, and she was talking about how, like, yeah, they're definitely looking for Western men. So if you like East African women, fellas, you can go and snag you one of those. And they have a whole like dating club thing. It's on the DL a little bit, but on the podcast we were talking about how we can actually like turn this into a service, which also would be a cool, interesting YouTube video idea of like making a passport bro service for Ethiopian women or East African women, like they do for Eastern European women, sort of thing. So is software worth it? You mean in terms of privacy? I mean, for a lot of people, lives have improved because of automation, and that comes at the cost of privacy, if that's what you're talking about, May. But remind me if what you're like computer science. Oh, like what I do for a living. I like web development, if that's what you mean. I didn't do computer science. I went to school for mechanical engineering, and I taught myself web development. Texas weather depends on where in the state. Scorching hot on the border, humid east of Dallas. Oh yeah, I moved to Austin. Am I married? No, I am engaged. I'm engaged. Katrina Spencer, no, he hates women but loves men. What do you mean? I'm not sure what user's talking about. I'm bored as shit. Okay, agent support, that's fine. The 80 and 90% sounds crazy, but men don't want to lose half their belongings and half their life. Yeah, I mean, the law is definitely structured to make men fear marriage. But here's the thing, the lead attorney, check him out on YouTube. The lead attorney, check his stuff out. I think his videos are totally underrated. He should be at 1 million subs, but he's only at 335 or something. But the advice he gives for, I think, men and women, honestly, about marriage and like what it's like and what the experience is like. I saw one clip where he was talking about how you should have a prenup no matter what. But even if it's like you guys grew up and you don't care about like half your shit, whatever, because you guys built that together. The thing is, the two things he recommended in a prenup at minimum is one, everyone's paying their own legal fees. Okay. And that's to protect you from lawyers, because lawyers, if they have an opportunity to break you guys apart and make money off of the opposing party, then it incentivizes them to rack up charges. And so you're going to be paying for your own destruction. And so by predatory lawyers are out there who make their money that way. And so like, yeah, one, everyone pays their own legal fees. And then the second thing, stipulation he recommended is no alimony, or at least set the terms of your alimony. So like, because like it doesn't make any sense for you as a guy or even a woman, I guess theoretically possible for her to be funding a spouse that she's no longer with. And so even if you decide like, oh, I don't want to leave her high and dry, whatever, about like, you know, like if we get divorced and she has no marketable skills, whatever, you could even agree like, all right, I will cover your expenses or give you alimony for a certain set period of time, but not just like leave it up to a chance what a judge will decide. Instead, you guys actually hammer that out. It's like, okay, in the event this doesn't work out, here's what you can expect from me. And then you guys can negotiate that and then come up with a term that you both agree with. Now, it's technically a prenup, but maybe it's just a nuptial agreement, you know, just about the status of your marriage and how that's going to, I don't know. I'm saving my seed for a special someone who will bear me a strong child. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how you ended up on my For You page. What in the algorithm messed us up? I don't know. Lives are pretty wild. Lives are pretty wild, but I hope your fiance is paying attention. I'm honest about everything I do. She knows how I feel about everything. She even joins these lives every now and then. Like, that's the thing. One of the things I would say most of all is like be honest with the person you're with, man or woman. So it's like, this is how I live my life. I live my values. This is how I carry myself. And she is either with it or she's not. Now, I think she's with it, as far as I know, and as far as things have gone. She's known me, and we've known each other for a really long time. So, um, yeah, I think just be honest. This is all you got to do. And yeah, you have to accept the consequences that come with being honest. A lot of people won't fuck with it sometimes. It's just like, oh, but I don't want to lose her. I don't want to lose him. It's like, what? You want to live a life, ladies, fellas, come on. Live life as you want, as you believe you should, and see if people fuck with it. Like, for instance, Katrina here. She's wondering how I showed up on her For You page. Here's the thing. If she wants to stay here, she can stay here. If she doesn't, she doesn't. And that's fine either way. But this is me. And that's all it is. That's all it is. That's why it's like it's a lot easier to handle life when you just move this way, I hope your fiance is paying attention. Yep. What part of India are you from? I'm not from India. I don't know where you got that from, Senor Woofers. Would you have a child with someone who wants to borrow $1? I'm not sure what you mean. Borrow $1? I'm not sure what that means. Am I missing something here? Or is that like a saying people say? So romantic relationships is usually the theme? No, it's not. We've had intellectual discussions about Christianity. This stream happens to be that because people are asking those questions, but we talk about a lot of different things. Sometimes it's like current event stuff. So we talked about like the whole submarine thing and how it was just a plant, like news story to distract people. That's the way I described it. People were like legit curious about like discussing it. I'm like, man, we're fed so much bullshit. We talk about philosophy, and sometimes politics sneaks in every now and then, but really, and relationships come up often because those are one of the three that people like talking about. It's usually money, relationships, or health. Those are the big three people like talking about. If you notice on your timeline, it's probably one of those three things that you're watching. Look at the videos. Those are the big three topics that people generally resonate with. And then obviously you have your niche stuff that comes out. Comedy is also one of those niche things, but it's a sense of humor kind of thing. So you got to be whatever. But those are the big three. So it's usually one of those. And then politics is sort of related to like power and money and stuff like that, which is why people care so much about it. I love your eyes. Do you have diabetes? No, this is a microphone. This is how you guys are hearing me right now. Why are folks here upset with you? I want to say they're upset with me. People have been upset with me before. This is tame, Katrina. This is tame. Don't worry about it. And plus, I could take a lot of hate. A lot of hate. I like haters, actually. I think they bring some spiciness, some flavor, some like accoutrement to the whole experience of the live. People usually just ban. The only thing I will ban are spammers. If you're just spamming the chat, making it hard for me to keep up with comments, I unfortunately have to ban that. And even then, I don't like doing it. But aside from that, like, yeah, I like haters because it's like it gives us an interesting discussion point, and then people give their ideas on certain things, and it's always like an interesting discussion to have with people, especially if it's strangers on the internet. Why do you say the sub was fake? I'm not saying the sub was fake. I'm saying the news story was a way to distract us from things that are actually more important. So the whole idea of like it being a thing. And here's the I don't know if you know this, but the whole sub thing, like I think the Coast Guard knew that the submarine exploded like a day or two after it went out to sea. So like the whole week of everyone talking about it, speculating it, oh, they're gonna run out of air. Coast Guard already knew. They already knew. So again, story, it's just like bullshit. Katrina Spencer, he's a bit of a chauvinist, but not too toxic. I can't disagree with that assessment, That's a fair way to describe me. Not that it's true, but it's not I couldn't say it was wrong either. Like depending on how you define those words, chauvinist and toxic is what I would say. But I'm also entertaining too. So that's what I would say. I named my dog 5 miles so I can say I walked 5 miles every day. Yesterday I ran over 5 miles. That's funny. That's funny. That's morbid. That's funny. Why do you think they already knew? No. They actually it was reported. They already knew. But it was the weekend by then when no one cares. That's how they get us all the time with like the UFOs, Chinese spy balloon, all this stuff are just distractions from things that you should. It's like a head fake. Like when you should be looking one way, but they distract you with like those cat toys that you use or the laser light to like distract you, whatever. Like the cats, that's what we are to them, and so that's what our media is essentially just a distraction tool from things that you should probably already know. Sonic Boom, same day, gone down. Yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, it is what it is. But it's like, it's entertainment, is what you should treat the news as. Like, remember that scene from Training Day where he's they're in the cafe and he's reading the newspaper and he's like, yo, you gonna let me read my newspaper? Whatever. And he's like, 90% of this shit is bullshit, but it's entertaining. So are you going to entertain me now? You're not going to let me read my paper. Yeah. So basically it's all just entertainment. And when you see it that way, you realize it's like, oh, there's bigger things going on that you end up having to research to figure out the truth of, which most people don't care to. So, which is why it's like most of the people you run into are just like not that informed about what's going on in the world. John, I would say, is an exception. Joshua here, also on YouTube. I don't know if he's still on YouTube, but definitely I would say he's an exception. And I think a lot of people who fuck with this table moments energy are exceptions to the rule, which I appreciate. It ain't gonna appeal to most people. That's the thing I've accepted from the beginning of this shit. It ain't for most people. Like if you care about fucking NBA All-Star game or whatever the fuck is happening in pop culture or whatever, this ain't the place for you. Sorry, I don't talk about those things. I don't know anything about those things. Sorry. But if you like to explore edgy, controversial, and interesting and funny ideas with a dude who's pretty open-minded, but will also clap back when he needs to, this might be the place for you. Welcome to the Table Moments. Speaking of being informed, Supreme Court's been having a good week or two. I know, bro. Like all the things they could say about 45, man, the guy delivered. Here's the thing, regardless of how you feel about the guy, okay, the ex-president, regardless of how you feel, the man is making all the shit happen. It's crazy. It's crazy. After he left the role, man, I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just like, damn, it is what it is, man. It's crazy. I don't know. Captain Savaho, Daddy, are you from Twitch, bro? Are you from Twitch? But yeah, it's been a pretty interesting couple weeks from the Supreme Court. Which I don't know. I wish people understood that when you do things in a circuitous way to get what you want, it can also be undone. And I think that's what people miss with this whole like trying to get rights and privileges in other ways, in ways that aren't legislation. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's like do it the hard way. You take the shortcut, it can be taken away from you. And that's the problem. It's like I could respect it more if they're like, you know what, we want to pass legislation to get what we want. It's like, okay, now you have to debate. Now you have to convince congressmen, senators, your whatever, vote, get out the vote, all that. It's hard work. But if you got it done that way, then you got it done. And it's permanent. But doing it this way where you use Supreme Courts and legal justifications to overturn law that was unjustified, but then gets overturned. It's so messy. is what I'm saying. It's like, why be so messy? Bro, hop off Trump D. I'm not even. That's the thing. Like, the guy got dubs. Like, what can I say? Like, you can say what you want about him. You could feel whatever about him. But like, if Obama was able to get wins like this, bro, I don't know. Next 2 weeks, maybe just as good on Supreme Court as well. From the new cases I heard they're tackling, really, advise be good to your wife to be, build a happy home, or live with bitter consequences. Nah, I don't live in fear. Sorry, user. I don't live in fear. So I live life according to my values, and she jives with it or she doesn't. It is what it is. Don't break, fellas. Don't break. DB, you're missing the point. It forces the lower and upper houses to do their job now. Yep, that's the truth. Now you have to do the hard work, which is, they try, you take shortcuts and then they cry when the shortcuts get taken away. It's like, no. Do the hard work. Convince. Have that debate. Get out the vote. That's the way it should have been done in the first place. And then, of course, people complain when it gets undone. That's impossible. That's the point. It's designed to be that way. But if you do pull it off, then you got consensus of the country. You did it legally, and it's permanent. That's the point. Do the hard work. Everyone's lazy these days. Everyone's lazy. Both left and right. At least the right, they're more like just leave things as they are. The left wants all these things, but they're not willing to put in the work to get those things. And so it's just like, I could respect them a lot more if they were like, well, do the work. Do the work. I'm very happy. I'm sorry that you don't feel so happy about me being happy. Oh, don't end up like bitter. Yeah, come on. Stop with the name calling. Where you from, sir? I'm from California originally. Now I'm a Texan, I guess. Politics is a joke. They both work together to keep themselves taken care of. True. And 45 was the exception, man. He was the exception. And you can see it in the way they came after him. Like, you start reading like how the FBI did their thing, and you're just like, what the fuck? You guys just did this openly. You guys just made shit up to take down a president. And then you look back in history and you're like, whoa, what the fuck happened to JFK? You start looking back at it and it's like, oh, the Nixon thing. Oh, okay. Oh, and then you're like, oh no. And then you're just like, oh, okay. It's all bullshit. I agree with you. It's all a joke. Dog Trump is just like them. I wish it were true, dude. Actually, I don't wish it was true. I just saw him as the exception. Now, you can say he was dumb enough to fall for a lot of the shit that they were doing. Like, people who had experience in government would not have fallen in the traps that he did. Like, they were completely avoidable. But of course, he said he was going to hire the best people. He didn't do that. He's like, I'm going to hire the best people. It's like, no, he didn't. He ended up hiring a bunch of people who screwed him over, especially people in government who honestly didn't like the idea of him being around. And you can see it in the way. So it's like, I can see where you're coming from, where he's just like them, because like a lot of the things, like a lot of his administration, turns out a lot of the people in his administration operated the way people in government typically do. And that was his mistake for sure. He has shortcomings, don't get me wrong, but they're hard to describe his shortcomings to people who already see him as like just who completely write him off. And you can't really have those conversations. Like, John and I could probably talk about his shortcomings in depth, because I think we are on that side of the aisle. But to someone who's on the opposite side, they can. I think it'd be hard for you to understand, TB, where we would be coming from if we explained all these things. Every president we've had been related to George Washington except for Trump. Okay, I'm actually glad you are happy. I hope you are truly happy. Don't do that passive aggressive thing. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, guys. It's all good. All right, my computer's at 20%. I'll keep this going on YouTube and Twitch as much as I can. We're at 1 hour and 44 minutes. But the biggest shortcoming I see for Donald Trump is he talks too much. I like the talking. I like that he's just bullshitting a lot. Got it. I like the bullshitting because I'd rather he does the talking rather than the actions, because it's usually the governmental actions that usually screw people over. So people should appreciate the talking, like the whole Twitter fingers bullshit. Like, oh my god, we need someone who's presidential. It's like, no, let him talk shit. Talking is better than missiles, always. Like always. Man, now look at, if Biden had some Twitter thumbs, maybe we wouldn't have Ukraine and Russia right now. Maybe we wouldn't. I'm just saying, like, talking is fine. It's scary to a lot of people because they take the word seriously. Again, this is where I think like taking the news seriously really fucks the people over, because you don't realize how much of it is just bullshit. When you realize it's all bullshit, then it's like, oh, they're just playing games here. It's okay. It means something else. Like, yeah, like when he called Kim Jong Un Rocket Man. It's like, no, that's how, those are dudes talking shit to each other. That's it. And then they end up friends. And it's like, oh, okay. This is like when you make fun of your friends, your homie, whatever. I'm actually good. The biggest shortcoming I see for Donald Trump is he talks too much. I can understand. Fine. Okay. I like to talking, but the ruling party does not. Yeah. It's not passive aggressive. I actually hope that John is happy. God damn it. Yo, look, she wants you to be I would guess it's a she based on your, I wonder if you can tell the gender of somebody just based on the language that they use. I think that might be a thing, you know? Like, and at least based on the context of our conversations. I never asked you openly, like, are you a man or a woman? But I'm assuming you're a woman, but you could be a man, I guess. But she hopes you're happy, John. God damn it. That's what she said. Yeah. Okay. All right. What else do you guys want to? We can get out of the politics, though. We can get out of the politics. I did come up with this idea about like placebo pills. Do you guys think it'd be cool if we could talk about placebo and how like most drugs are typically tested against placebo before they get FDA approval, and a lot of drugs that are slated for becoming on the market never get past clinical trials because they're not better than nothing. Basically. Don't get sweets on me. I'm diabetic. You're making me sick. Here we are. Here we are repairing what were once haters, now become friends. But I think it would be a funny idea if like, because placebo is the mind is pretty powerful. So like if you believe what you're taking will work, then somehow it actually does work. It's this weird thing a lot of the time. And so I was thinking like, what if you extended this idea to like laughing is pretty powerful too. Yeah. Yeah. So can you guys hear that? So placebos. I was thinking about taking this to like illicit drugs and seeing if like you can give placebo versions of like street drugs and stuff, and then starting a pharmacy or like pharma, whatever. I think that would be hilarious. So I'm just here to laugh. Good for you. Mahogany African Queen. Thanks for joining. But yeah. All right. I'm gonna open it to you guys though. You guys have anything on your mind? Anything that, thanks for making me laugh. Peace out. Have a good one. Enjoy your night. Have a good week. Too bad we should have laughed more. We've maybe not lose our hair. Yeah. I don't know. That's funny. So let's see. That's the thing. Like, I don't even keep up with the news anymore. I hear secondhand from people, just like, oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? I'm like, no. And it sounds like bullshit. And then if I'm curious enough, I'll look it up and I'll be like, oh, okay. Just in case before you go, it's a trap. Always with the message, John. Always with the message. Yes. Got it. It's all a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Uh, yes. Mm, see. I don't want to be one of those places where we just talk about the news or whatever, but it's just funny. Like, I bet you it's been a while. Here's the thing, it was July 4th and all that. So we had sort of like a low point. I think we're about due for some more drama again. So we'll see. We'll see what the news story will be this week. Because news doesn't happen on weekends. That should be the biggest sign that it's all bullshit. So that's what I'd say. Hey Vicky, how's it going? I'd rather talk about news than being the news. Yeah. I know. What if you made positive news though? Like, what if you accomplished something in the world in a positive direction, at least for people? Like, any news coming out of SpaceX is usually good. Um, you know, not just for the country, but also the world. Um, any news about like science breakthroughs? Here's the thing. Like with scientific breakthroughs, they're always talking about like, oh, look this, oh, look that, whatever. And it's just usually it's like some like vaporware. Do you believe in reptilians? You mean like Ninja Turtles? Is that what you mean? Or like what they had in Spider-Man? What's a reptilian? Reptilian. Let's see. May refer to reptiles, reptilian humanoid, anthropomorphic reptiles in folklore and fiction. Sweet, I'll be the new Elon Musk. Perfect, John. We need you. Do you believe in females? What does that mean? What does that mean, Mr. Right? Explain. Humanoid reptilians. Like certophiles? Basically aliens? Um, I don't know. I mean, like, do I believe in them? Like on this planet? Honestly, I can't say I've explored that idea, but I am curious to hear more though. Sorry, I just wanted to say something that would throw you off. I don't know if it throws me off. Oh, the whole believe in females thing. Oh, good. Yeah. That's cool. Stop using FaceTime to hit on my husband. He's not interested in hooking up with you ever again. I think I heard that last week too. Sanitation engineering, you need to come up with new ones. Look up Lacerta files. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. Uh, I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right. Saying that right? Interview with a reptilian. What? It's a podcast. What the hell? It's also on TikTok. Wait, hold up. Let me look at this. What the fuck? Oh, okay. So this is. I bet you it's just a Chat GPT or like a AI image or whatever. Interview with the female reptilian. Conveniently, it's an audio thing. It's an audio thing, obviously. Um, who is more handsome, you or Michael B. Jordan? Me, obviously. Yep, you heard that last week. Why? Why it's a trap? Yeah, audiobook. Of course, it's an audiobook. I'll be back with some new funny comments later. I appreciate it. Made in 2000. I don't believe in the reptilians, but the government did tell us UFOs exist. You think the government would be honest about UFOs if they did exist? That's the thing. Like, anytime the government has an advantage in some way, you think they share it with its people? That's how I know it's bullshit. That's how I know it's bullshit. When the government's talking about it like it's real. Again, it's just distractions. I mean, 2000, I don't believe in the reptilians, but the government did tell us. All right, who's a better dancer, you or Jonathan Majors? I don't know. I don't know if Jonathan Majors can dance. I'm hoping he can tap dance his way through this Me Too accusation. That'd be great. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if he'll be able to like recover like Chris Brown did. But I guess Chris Brown wasn't a Me Too thing. I guess I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to get into it, but whatever. Let me make sure I'm still in frame. I'm at 18% on battery on my computer. that too. Are you innate? What do you mean innate? You're blind, I'm blind, you're trying to get married and create some visually challenged superheroes? Uh, how are they superheroes though if they're blind? Yep, I see most UFOs. A freaking pigeon. Why the radar can't pick it up? So handsome. Thank you. How do you say BS cracks me up? I say, okay. Chi City, Marcia, Chicago. Okay, shout out to Chicago. Who can talk their way out of anything? You or Andrew Tate? I think Andrew Tate's better at it for sure. And I don't know if he's talking. Here's the thing: like, if you challenge, here's the thing: if he and I had a conversation, I think it would be a pretty interesting conversation. One, and then I would also challenge him on some of the things that. Here's the thing: I like him as a entry point for a lot of men into improving their own lives. But I hope men graduate past him to other people. There are other people who I think but the other people don't have the sort of temperament to appeal to a broad audience like he does. And so it's sort of like he's the top of the funnel for men improving themselves. He's sort of like the switch to get them out of the quote matrix, and then from there the men graduate hopefully to other things, to, like, you could say the red pill, but there's certain other things, whatever path men decide they want to take, whatever. And so, like, but I think it'd be interesting because, like, now he's going the whole religious path, which, I mean, like, everything he's done to make money has been through some sin or vice. Okay. First it was kickboxing, so he sold violence. Then it was the whole cam girl thing, so he was selling sex. And then the next thing was clout and money, chasing greed was the next thing he was selling. So university hustles, university and stuff like that. It's like, make money, blah blah blah, be rich, and that's the message he's sending. So he's actually selling greed. And then now he's on the religious train. And so it's just like, okay, buddy, all right, whatever. But it is what it is. Are you inmate? Nope, I'm not. Sure, Daredevil is blind. Yeah, but he has, like, sonar, whatever powers. How you say bullshit? You like how I say bullshit? That's a weird. Okay, that's a very weird Chi City, but okay. Blind superhero. Let me think. Last Airbender, the Earthbender was blind. Really? I don't know. I never watched Airbender, or Avatar is what it's called, I guess. Oh, can't spell inmate. I can appreciate that you're so rich you have 2 windows. Cool. Hope you're having a great night. Yep, having a great night here with random people. Dying from heat in Arizona. How hot is it there, Becca? Those lips would be popular in prison, though. I think. Okay. Boo, boss, lol. Do you ever think about joining one of his classes? No. I've joined other, like, internet marketing classes just to understand people better and kind of, like, do the whole selling software thing better. But I don't. I mean, the advice he's giving is valid. It's just like, and I think it's at a very affordable rate. By the way, $50 a month is very affordable. Like, do you know what other money gurus charge for their courses? If you're not familiar, it's like some people charge hundreds of dollars. Some people even charge thousands. It's crazy. $50 a month is nothing. In fact, I think it's sort of like the Planet Fitness model, because it's so cheap compared to anything else that's supposed to teach you how to make money, that most people never unsubscribe. Sort of like how people at Planet Fitness, a lot of people have that $10 a month gym membership but never go to the gym, sort of thing. I think that's what he's doing, which, I mean, fine. Because there are some people in there, I'm sure there are people who end up taking his course or whatever and actually taking it seriously and putting in the work. Like, he doesn't sell you a get rich quick thing. You're going to have to learn. Like, all these legitimate ones tell you, you're going to have to learn some marketable skills. And the fastest and easiest way for people in that program, at least when it was out, was to cut up videos and sell the program itself. You could say it's a marketing thing or whatever, but like, I mean, it's no different than like a lot of other things. You have great features. Thank you, Tri City. Arizona ain't bad. Try Mississippi where it's 90 with 100% humidity. Humidity sucks, bro. I don't think people in dry states understand the level, how much humidity can impact your living experience. So yeah. At John Campbell, I can spell your mom. Moom. There are whatever money gurus. Oh, yeah, there's a lot out there. It's just a matter of like, can you decide which one? Here's the thing. The legit ones are going to tell you how it is. You're going to have to grind. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to try a bunch of things. You're going to face a bunch of adversity. You're going to feel like giving up, but you just keep pushing and eventually you'll figure it out. But a lot of people can't. Like one of the things, like you're going to have to build a social following, get attention in some way, then sell something or come up with some service, have some marketable skills. And usually a lot of these young men have no skills. So public school didn't teach them shit, okay, or prepare them from life. So it's like, all right, you're gonna have to grind for a while because you can't do shit, and it is what it is. It's like if you're willing to work through it, it can be useful for you, but you have to do the work. It's not just like that comes to you. No, it never is. Now there are a lot of money gurus who are just bullshitting too because they make their money from selling the course. In which case, they're not actually telling you how to make money. They're just bullshitting you into doing something that they've never done themselves, which is actually create a useful, marketable service or product that's actually impactful in positive ways in people's lives. If what they're selling is just the course, then and that's how they made their money, then I would question it. But if they made their money in other ways and then they're selling the course, they're more legitimate and they're just selling their way of making money. So it's not only just how they're making money. It's about finding the balance between how you can make money and what makes sense for you. And so like certain people are predisposed to certain things. Like if you want to be a drop shipper and you're going to be going through products all the time, if you're not a product designer or you can figure all that out, then you're just going to have to use off the shelf stuff, which means you're going to need to be better at like making viral content and getting attention and engagement that way. In which case you're going to have some sort of innate ability to make content that resonates with people. And so maybe you have skills for that, but maybe you don't. So does that fit your personality? Or like, let's say you understand finance better. So maybe you get into real estate deals instead because you can understand the amortization rates and interest rates and manage the debt load that you're going to be taking on, and while being conservative, but also taking calculated risks and stuff. So maybe that's more suited for your personality, but maybe you just don't like dealing with rentals or anything like that. And so you might go in a different direction. My direction is software. And so like maybe you might go no code, or you might be, this is all these different things. So it's like figuring out what your lane is. Your nostrils are pristine, homie. I'm blessed that money doesn't motivate me. It doesn't motivate me either, but I realize I have to learn how to make it motivate me, because I mean, I'm pretty comfortable financially, but I understand if I want to have the impact in the world that I want to, I'm going to need a lot of money to do it, and I don't care to make money. And so that's my dilemma. I've been slowly trying to figure out how I can care more. I'll let you know once I figure it out, Blake, but maybe it's not for you. So it is what it is. Your nostrils are pristine. If you're a very attractive girl, you don't need skills. Yeah, I guess that's true, because some guy will want to take care of you, which is nice, I guess. But also being not just attractive, also being personable, also being pleasant to be around. Those things are either taught or learned. Okay, so it's not just you're just attractive. Now, obviously, yeah, that there are plenty of attractive girls who are in pretty good situations financially because men are willing to, but then it sort of stunts their personality, so it's sort of like a curse in disguise as a blessing, because you're attractive. Most people let you get away with shitty behavior, and then when you do, it's like you get away with it, fine. But as you get older, maybe the looks fade, and then you never developed a appealing, personable, fun, engaging personality people actually want to spend time with. And then it's just like, oh, all right, their entire life craters from there, which is a possibility. But some women don't. It's just like whatever. But I like the idea that I'm in control of my life. So I think, I don't know. Thoughts on Grant Cardone? I think he made his money through real estate. So, I mean, just see how they made their money. Like, I feel a certain type of way about real estate. It's almost like there's a lot of advantages to making money through real estate. I think someone here, what's her name? Chai City? Is she still here? Chai City? I think if I remember correctly, real estate. Yes. So if you want to drop any knowledge or your TikTok or whatever, or the kind of content that you make, I'm sure she knows better than I do. But there are certain tax advantages to real estate, which kind of makes it easier than just running a business. But you also got to be careful because it's a double-edged sword. Debt is you can multiply your gains, but you can also multiply your losses. And so that's the careful thing. You have to be very careful with it. So I don't know. But I think Grant Cardone is mostly mindset now, which mindset's a big part of this, by the way. You have to believe in yourself to get through the moments where you're just grinding. But humidity helps skin stay healthy looking. But humidity, yeah, that's true. I'm going to just keep buying these scratch offs. I like you a lot, says, let me catch up. Whoa. Says Dr. Hinaha. 4X, only 5% make it. Very positive vibes from you. God bless you, my guy. God bless you too, drummer drum. God bless you too. Public schools did not teach him, and there was no trade schools like it used to be in the 80s. Yeah, there's a lot of arbitrage opportunities in like the trades. Like I was just having a conversation with my fiance's dad about like Copart and salvage cars and all this stuff. And like there's so much opportunity in just making money that way too, which might be my thing eventually because I like working with my hands. Like even though I do have a brain for like computer work, I like working with my hands. I think all engineers, mechanical engineers, have this itch. Public schools, precious metals is a trick. Death is free and very relaxing. Okay. No disrespect, but you got a great head shape for a bald look. Appreciate it, Adam. Thank you. I buy and sell Apple stock only, really. Attractive women sit on a gold mine. Kind of, yeah, but like if you had it since birth, would you recognize what you have? If you haven't known anything else, you know? In which case it's like it's hard. I kind of have pity for them because it's like if it does turn the other direction for them as they get older, then it's like they were doomed no matter what. And so it's like you can learn to have some sympathy for them too, in a weird way. But maybe I'm just alone on this one. Why you care, child? Huh? You play COD? I don't play. I used to play a long time ago. Like Modern Warfare. Was it Modern Warfare 2? The one with that like training map? That was my favorite. Real estate, like it, and people waste your time. Gas. Real estate is tough. I've been getting into understanding real estate photography. So if any of you realtors or like Tri City here, if you have any input or questions, because I've been looking into like I make software for social media. I've built a couple apps, whatever. But next thing I want to get into is like photography for real estate. Maybe it would be useful for real estate, but like automating a lot of the like high definition photos that when you hire photographers and they take a picture, they usually take multiple exposures and you merge them into one high definition photo to give you that like really bright photo that highlights all the features but doesn't have the window blown out or anything like that. It's like made for real estate, whatever. And I think there's a way to automate all that because I have some experience with software. So that's some next project I'll be working on. But if you guys have any opinions on that, feel free to DM me. Let me know, and we can collab on that or something. I think that'd be cool to like optimize and speed up the whole taking photos of and making it more appealing for people. Soft skills are underrated for sure. Like I did not have any soft skills before social media or whatever. People only care about money. Men care about life. Love. Yeah. Wait, I don't know. I think men care about money a lot because of the whole resource stuff. It's a signal to women related to mating, which I guess you could say women care about being provided for. They care most about safety, is what I would say. And safety comes with like financial safety or security in this case. And so it's like we've had this conversation with women on the streets about like, would you choose a guy who's loyal but broke or rich and unfaithful? And a lot of women would choose loyalty. They say they would, but again, they wouldn't want to be with a broke guy, honestly, because that is reproductively risky because you're not going to be able to provide for whatever offspring you have. So, like, I've had this conversation with women, and they don't have a dollar figure in mind, guys. Like, as far as they can have all the things that they expect, like shelter, transportation, food, in maybe depending on the girl, nicer, but it doesn't have to be so nice. It's like as long as they're living good and they can have all the things that they need for a family, a lot of women would be perfectly content, perfectly contented. And ladies here, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've had this street interviews and stuff. So it's not about like they're looking all for like six figures is a nice idea, but like in certain parts of the country, it's well. Let me just catch up with comments here, real quick. Used to have single men act like they wanted to see buy homes just to think they were on a date. Oh, that's crazy. Howard, I didn't know that. A little afternoon. The middleman and do wholesale real estate. Be the middleman and do wholesale real estate. That's also a possibility if you've got the gumption for that, which a lot of people aren't willing. Some people are. Who knows? We actually invited somebody on the podcast who actually has a TikTok. What's her name? Damn, Eliza. Check her out. She actually co-founded a software company that kind of specializes in connecting wholesalers with whatever stuff like that. I'm sorry you had to put up with that. Yep, he's right. Being able to be a handy person and fixing things is good at owning real estate. Yeah, that's also good too. So that's sort of if it fits for your way of making money. Join Congress, then you can inside trade like they do and get rich. Crooked a-holes. Yeah, I agree. I think the stock market's a lot of it's rigged, but people still play the games. Options and futures are for insiders. Yep, I agree. You need to come from money to get to that point, though. It's rigged from the start. Yeah, the hardest part is the initial come up, the ramp up. Once you're there, man, like when you got money to push around, life does get a lot easier. Yes, there are tax benefits to investing in real estate. Yep, confirmed by Tri-City. Arbitrage is running after pennies. Depends on the arbitrage, though. It depends. There are some arbitrages that are maybe you mean just strictly in the financial sense, but there are arbitrage opportunities outside of just finance that it's essentially how people make money. It's by finding something that people are undervaluing and being able to sell it for what it's actually valued at, what its true value is. The economy is so bad, everything is so expensive, easy to spend $100 per day. Scary. I know it is. Damn. Back away from the phone. Okay. Hey, you're good looking. Thank you, Heather. If precious metals is a trick, then why would 1 ounce of gold in Venezuela buy you a mansion? Is that true? 1 ounce of gold is probably worth like $1,500, right? Let me double check. I remember when an ounce of gold was like $400 or something like that. 1 ounce of gold price. Let's see. Oh, it's pushing $2,000. Wow, that's crazy. Inflation is a son of a gun, isn't it? I'm struggling just to buy food. Sorry to hear that, man. Yes, Blake. When in doubt, beans and rice. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, apparently, like a crock pot does wonders. If you just throw a bunch of affordable stuff in there, and you could make really decent meals. Some people do tax liens on real estate. Huh. Yes, and canned soup. Yep. Yes. I like your shiny bald head. Thank you. Remember the early internet, the late 90s? It was way better. It was way better, bro. I hope we get there one day, but I'm not liking this milk toast, censored, basic ass bullshit we have these days that we call the internet. A lot of it's fraudulent. A lot of it's censored. I mean, like even look at TikTok. Like, look at the other live streams here. I don't know if any of them are having. Usually, I don't know. I don't. Whatever. Appealing as long as it's not deceptive advertising. Yeah. Yeah. Social media has made most women feel so important they need to be more humble. Here's the thing, you can tell, look at her ratios. So followers versus following. If she has way more followers than she is following, then she's probably used to a lot of attention, getting notifications and stuff. Probably I would stay away, but you do you, fellas. But a lot of women do have better ratios where it's usually an equal number of followers to following, or maybe even they have private accounts where they're following way more than they have followers. And it's like, oh, she's not one of those who are like looking for attention and stuff. And you can see in their social media habits. I wouldn't say like the exception makes the rule, is what I would say. Hi, I'm back from yoga retreat. Oh, Mev, hey, how's it going? I make $50K a year. I'm 19. I want a $27,000 car. Can I afford it? I wouldn't say that's financially responsible, but perhaps you can get that $27,000 car salvaged and get it rebuilt for maybe half that. And then that makes it far more reasonable. So what if you could find a car for around 15K? That is that equivalent, or is that $27,000 car? You know, make your money last. Make it. And if you guys want to know more about that, I've bought a salvage vehicle, rebuilt it, and got it all inspected and everything. In my case, it was a motorcycle, but whatever. This guy supports BLM. Stay away. Which guy, Brendan? Not me. Is it illegal to just get life insurance in 80 years old and sit back and wait? I don't know if I would say it's illegal. I mean, if they give you life insurance and you're that old, as long as you're not fraudulent about your information, I think it's fine. If they give it to you, that's the thing. There's so many layers of tricks I can do to you in gold. Check the price of gold in Venezuela. If you want to be impressed, that's why it's for emergency. You want to put 1% into it. Definitely look into that, I guess. Not to mention, if you sell back precious metals, they lowball you. True. Isn't that true about anything, though? Anytime you try to sell something back, they always lowball you. It's like, oh, no, you touched it. Now it's worth less. It's like, motherfucker, yeah, I just bought it from you. Like, it is what it is. What did they say? All professions are conspiracy against the laity. Yep, but I pick up silver when it was $12. Now it's worth more. Have you ever heard of Coast to Coast AM, the radio show? No, I haven't. I haven't heard of that one. Remember, I don't listen to the radio really. I don't know a lot of people who do, but remember when platinum was more than gold, or you're getting played? I heard of Space Coast, Coast to Coast. Old school. Life insurance is a multi-layered scam product too. It's a conspiracy show. I always feel some type of way about insurance. Yeah, I do feel like a lot of it is just, I don't know. It's like, it's all fear-based, right? It's like in case something happens. And so they can charge you whatever. And there's no way you can figure out if this, and then when you do decide to collect, will they give you issues about like, oh, okay, actually, technically this isn't covered, blah, blah, blah. It's like, what the fuck? I've been paying premiums this whole time. And you're telling me now this shit isn't covered? I definitely see that being, but I also thought it'd be cool to start an insurance company related to divorce, like divorce insurance. I thought about that. That would be pretty funny. What do you guys think of divorce insurance? So in the event your spouse divorces you, we hire the expensive, super good lawyers who will fight on your behalf in the event that they divorce you. So it's not if you decide to get divorced, if you, as the person who bought the insurance, decide to get the divorce yourself, then it doesn't apply. But if you just or if the other one, so maybe this could encourage more men to actually like get married, because at least you don't have to worry about being able to afford a highly competent lawyer, because we'll cover the costs, because it's spread out. That's the idea behind insurance, right? The cost is spread out among a bunch of people. The liability is spread out among bunch of people who don't need it all at the same time. And so if you get the ratios right, I don't know what the prediction tables would look like, but I do gotta end the stream on YouTube and Twitch because my battery's low and I'm not near an outlet. I will stay on TikTok though. So signing out for those of you watching on TikTok or YouTube. I appreciate it, especially if you guys want to watch the replay. If you join late, check out the YouTube channel, check out the Twitch. I'll post it. It's only temporary on Twitch for up to a week, but YouTube as well. Just search Table Moments Podcast on YouTube. Make sure you put podcast. Otherwise, you're going to get a bunch of WWE highlights, Table Moments, whatever. So that's signing out on YouTube and Twitch. Bye over there. I'll stay on here for TikTok a little bit more. Okay.